Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner?
Some props because the last time we were here, it didn't look like this. So shout out to the Parks Department. But we have transformed the half court. Well, it was a full court to now a half court. We have a real full court. It's been redone. We got our beautiful rocks out here. So, and then Layla, thank you for your help. The pool is open. So shout out to all the work. Thank you, Mayor, for making sure that's done. And shout out to Katura, who's out here way too often, making sure that things are done. But I just want to, I couldn't start this without first giving praise where praise is due, because I also criticize when criticism is due. So you got to balance it. You got to give praise because this is a beautiful park. Thank Miss Jessica, the Deputy Director of the Kentucky Historical Society. Thank you for being here. Secretary Mike Berry from Kentucky Tourism, Arts and Heritage Cabinet. Thank you for being here. Miss Layla George, the President and CEO of Olmsted Parks Conservancy. Thank you for being here. Our Mayor, Greg Fisher, Louisville Metro, thank you for being here. And last but least, I want to thank myself.
Yes,
and then,
yes.
And then I see Chief Shields here, Marty, Margaret. So thank you. It says the Dirt Bowl. And now, skipping to the last paragraph, we hereby confer this proclamation, whereby confer this recognition with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, in testimony whereof we have caused these letters to be made affixed and the seal of Metro government to be hereunto affixed today, August the 14th, Keisha Dorsey, Councilwoman of District 3. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Keisha. Oh my goodness. I'm Jessica Stavros, Deputy Director of the Kentucky Historical Society, and also very proud Louisville citizen. I'm really honored to be here today with you all. So thank you. The Kentucky Historical Society is an agency in the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet, but we really serve as a network of people across Kentucky who educate and engage through Kentucky history in order to meet the challenges of the future, of which there are plenty. But before I get started, I do, of course, want to say thanks to not only the Department of Transportation, who are instrumental in putting these markers across the state, but also Miss Layla George with Olmsted Parks, Keisha Dorsey, Janice Carter Miller, and of course the family Ben Watkins. Thank you for being here with us today. At the Kentucky Historical Society, we really believe that history belongs in the hands of the people. And we work with communities across the state to make sure that we do just that. And the Historical Marker Program is one of the ways we do it. It is our longest program and most visible. And by partnering with communities like this one here in Algonquin Park, we recognize the places that are a part of our history. So to speak more about the Historical Marker Program, I give to you Secretary Mike Berry of the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet.
Thank you, Jessica. Good afternoon, everybody. It is great to be here on a day like today. I want to thank all of those folks who were involved in this, Metro government, Metro Council, and especially Janis and the family of Ben Watkins. I had the opportunity to meet his wife, and it just is a pleasure to be here with you. Many of you all know I spent 33 years at the Kentucky Derby Festival, and I would tell you I was always envious of the Dirt Bowl because we would try to do basketball events and just couldn't pull them off the way that you all could. And I know when ultimately it moved locations because it outgrew this park, it's just continued to be something that we can all take pride in. Since 1949, these Kentucky historical markers have partnered with communities across Kentucky to share sites, events, people, personalities that we consider to be important to local and regional, state, and national history. And to date, more than 2,400 markers illuminate Kentucky's complex history. So they're all over the place, and it's wonderful to have 2401 with the newest one being here in Algonquin Park. So again, thank you all for being here. Thanks for inviting me and letting me come down here and enjoy this beautiful day with you all. And congratulations on the wonderful things that are going on in the city of Louisville and here in Algonquin Park and with the Dirt Bowl. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, thank you all. My name is Layla George. I'm the president and CEO of Olmsted Parks Conservancy. We are an organization that was founded in 1989 with the mission to preserve, protect, and enhance our 17 Olmsted parks and 6 parkways. Algonquin Park is one of our 17 special parks. I have been working here for about 3.5 years with Councilwoman Dorsey on improvements to this park. And this half court that you see behind you was the original Dirt Bowl court. It was called the Dirt Bowl because it was surrounded by dirt, and that's because it was barely regulation. It was a very small full court. So we worked with Metro Parks, and I had a meeting with Mayor Fisher and pleaded our case to get additional funding for this park, to redo that court, to create a new beautiful full court that you see here, and then to resurface the tennis courts behind us. So we've had a lot of really great improvements to this park over the past few years. Mayor Fisher also gave us funding for a new playground that you see over there. The spray pad has been done in the past few years. Councilwoman Dorsey is all about improving this park, and she is passionate like you have never seen. So we have had meetings, I think, weekly for a long time about what else can we do here. We've put these beautiful limestone boulders here that you see. We've increased lighting. Metro Parks has been diligent in making sure that everything that needs to happen here happens here. Janice Carter, she reached out to us about this Dirt Bowl marker. And for those of you that know her, know how determined she is. And it is no surprise that something she founded 51 years ago is still around today. So she is just a fierce woman and is really one of the reasons that we're all here today. So thanks to you for making this happen.
Thank you.
And with that, I'm going to introduce Mayor Fisher, who, again, is the man behind a lot of the funding and making sure that we're here. So thank you.
Thanks, Layla. I get a kick out of people always say thank me for all this funding. The reality is it is your money as citizens. I just have the opportunity to help share it throughout the community. So thank you, Layla. There are so many people to thank here for what's going on. Councilwoman Dorsey, it was a priority to me when I became mayor to restart the Dirt Bowl. There was a challenge with the Dirt Bowl, so the community or the city government said we need to stop this. The Dirt Bowl was too important as part of the social and cultural fabric of the city to stop just because we had a challenge one year. So we made it a priority to bring the Dirt Bowl back. Cornell was with us every step of the way, along with Janis, along with Ben, along with Rayvon, and it came back, and I think it's bigger and better than ever. We had the finals just this past Sunday. It was, probably 1,000 people or so there, so it continues to have its wonderful tradition here with the community. So it is part of the soul of our city, and I'm glad to see it continue to flourish. Most people associate the Dirt Bowl with Shawnee Park, but it was here in 1969 when 2 young, very young Janis, Metro Parks employees, Janice Carter and Ben Watkins. Miss Watkins, thank you for being here. And, Ben's smiling down upon us right now. But big, tall Ben and shorter, powerful Janis decided we're going to do something special here. Nobody said, hey, Janis, hey, Ben, you do this. They said, we're going to create something that's going to bring this city together. And they realized that, basketball's always been big in Louisville, but a summer-long basketball tournament when Algonquin Park was going to be the medicine that we needed. And it's turned out to be an incredible success. Think about that time, going back to 1969 when this happened. Okay, so that was a time of significant racial conflict and tension in America. The assassinations of Dr. King, Robert Kennedy still hung heavy on the soul of America. Muhammad Ali had been stripped of his heavyweight title, exiled from boxing for his opposition to the Vietnam War, and there had been demonstrations, riots, both nationally and locally. So it was a tumultuous time, not too dissimilar from what we experienced last year. Hopefully we've learned. In 1968, when the Kerner Commission was produced by the White House to discover the learnings from the race riots of the 60s, the report concluded that racism left unattended would result in the creation of 2 countries, wholly separate and wholly unequal. And white America, for the most part, for the next 5 decades, look the other way. Yes, there's been progress, and it's hard for me to say that as a white guy up here, but not, I hope, like what we're going to see after the summer of 2020. There are more white folks involved with racial justice, social justice, than there certainly were in the 60s and 70s. Corporate America has certainly woken up to this issue as well. Philanthropy, hopefully your government as well. So I'm hopeful. But issues like this have held us together throughout this time, and that's one of the reasons why the Dirt Bowl is so important, because it's more than just a big basketball tournament. It's a family reunion, it's a fashion show, it's a cook-off, it's about everything you can imagine into it. But the basketball has been amazing. Now the rules have changed on who can participate. So back in the day, you know, we could have NBA players, we could have college stars like Ron King play. And Ron, your free throws are still good, man. Congratulations on that. He just walked up to the line last Sunday and just dropped 2 like it was nothing. Then he had the good sense to walk away before he missed the third. But y'all remember, and I see young Daryl Griffith here, thank you. Your dad obviously was a huge star and part of the lore of Dirt Bowl when he slammed, who did he slam over? Somebody.
Artist Gilmore.
Yeah, he took it to Artist, and Artist denies it ever happened, but we all know it did happen at the Dirt Bowl, and that was kind of the coming out for, I think, then 16-year-old Daryl Griffith. So that was the origins of him becoming the Doctor of Duncanstein. So whether it was him, Butch Beard, Dan Isso, Rex Chapman, Bill Bradley, Montrezl Harrell, you name it, and our very own Metro Parks retiree, Ron King, looking smooth as usual back there. So Ron, thank you. So again, here in closing, I want to thank Janis and Ben. Janis is a wonderful human being and a wonderful citizen that comes up with big ideas and has the ferocity and tenacity to get them done. Most people don't do that, Janis, as you know. A lot of people just have big ideas and they want somebody else to do them. It's a great combination when you put it all together. So let's hear it for Janice Carter.
Thank you.
Thank our police chief here, Erica Shields, for coming. She's a big Dirt Bowl fan. Dirt Bowl in a second. If he's the voice father of the Dirt Bowl, the voice son of the Dirt Bowl is Rayvon Churchill back here. Ray Watkins, thank you so much for representing Ben here. As we said, he'd be standing in the background right now. He'd be waiting for people to come up and talk to him. He was a quiet man with great leadership and great presence. So thank you so much for the gift of your husband. I want to thank a few council women here. We talked about Keisha Dorsey, of course, Sherry Bryan Hamilton, Councilwoman Donna Purvis with Shawnee Park have been a big part of this as well. Marty Storch with the Parks Department and now our Special Events Department has been an incredible presence to make the Dirt Bowl happen every year. Our partners with the Olmsted Parks Foundation, Layla. I know we're thanking a lot of people because a lot of people are required to get stuff like this done, and I think it's all part of kind of our collective love letter to the city to make this happen. And then last, MSD and their CEO. You say, why am I thanking MSD? Because when we put the retention basin in Shawnee Park, remember when we dug up the big park where the Juice Bowl is played? Well, MSD did that, but with some of the money from that project, then we were able to upgrade Shawnee Park and make it the Cornell Bradley Court, Janice Carter and Ben Watkins on the baselines of the court, put a scoreboard in there. It's much nicer than what it was. So I want to thank MSD for doing that. So the Dirt Bowl really is special. Having our historical marker is important, right? Some people will say it's just a basketball tournament. Well, they don't know what they're talking about if they say that, right? This is part of the history of our city. And I've always had great esteem for historical markers, Jessica, because you don't give them out easily. It's not easy to get a historical marker. I mean, it's got to be legit, so for people to come down here and see this and kind of think about what it means to us as a city, what it means to Black Louisville, what it means to basketball, it's cool. So this will be here forevermore, and we really appreciate that. And to reflect on that for a moment, please welcome to the microphone, yes, there is power here, Cornell Bradley, the voice of the Dirt Bowl. Come on, Cornell. Sorry, Janice, I don't mean to hijack the program here.
It's all right.
I'd never hear the end
I got a
of it
stopwatch.
if Cornell didn't say anything. All right, Corn.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much. Wow. And you know, it's hard for me to start unless I started like this. Let's give it a testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, and 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have power. Okay, now with that being said, a lot of things, man, about the Dirt Bowl definitely coming up. It's going to be all about my main man, Big Ben Watkins. And when I always talk about Big Ben, I always say he was a standout player for, you know it, Phyllis Wheatley Elementary. But Big Ben was more than that. Big Ben was outstanding everywhere he went at Central, also at Jackson State.
Jackson State. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Big Ben was cold. But the thing that gets me about Big Ben, he's left-handed, do the same old little boogaloo move, then step back and shoot his jumper. And nobody acted like they had any defense for that. I mean, it was crazy. But in honor of Big Ben, I can say to you now what the game plan for the Dirt Bowl next year for Big Ben. We are going to start a drive, and we are going to play in a T-shirt next year with Ben Watkins' picture on the front of the T-shirt. Come on, let's give us a hand now.
All right.
I don't have a clue as to how much it's going to cost, but I know the first place I'm going to start is going to be Portland Memorial Church, Big Ben's church.
Okay.
Come on now. What's up, Rayvon? Okay. So anyway, that is all I want to definitely put out. And I thank you, Janice, for making sure that I showed up here today. Okay.
Okay, darling.
Thank you.
So I definitely won't take up too much time, but I didn't even get to tell Cornell that with the success of this year's Dirt Bowl, which we actually were this close. The Tuesday before the Dirt Bowl started, we were this close to not being able to have it because of the violence in our city.
Right.
But Cornell is the voice of the Dirt Bowl, and I'm the voice for the Dirt Bowl. We had to have this because it means so much. So when Chief James was like, what can we do to ensure the safety? Then we had to get other people involved. So Cornell, just real quick, the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, on behalf of Chief James said that every single team next year is going to have shirts or jerseys. So you didn't even know about that, but that's already in order, and we can get Mr. Watkins' name on there anyway. So with that being said, the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods will pay for, because the Chief James said it, so we'll be able to pay for those shirts with his name on the front next year. Thank you so much.
Please welcome the co-founder of the Dirt Bowl, Miss Janice Carter.
Miller.
Janice Miller. Your original Carter.
Okay.
Take it away.
Everybody, thank you so much. Rayvon, Cornell, y'all always put the icing on the cake for me. I'm telling you. I'm not going to take up a lot of time because we can go over here because I know this is hot out here. But I want to thank, I wrote something down. My name is Janice Carter Miller because my husband says, y'all had to know that I's married now. And he's a good man. But then I was Janice Carter, 19 years old. First, I want to thank everyone who felt this event was worthy of your support. I thank you for coming here this evening. Miss Keisha Dorsey, girlfriend, I said, I need you because this is your district, because come on, we need a marker in the park. She said, you got it. Looked up, Miss Layla George says, well, we'll do the other side because usually it's just a single side marker. And we've got a double side marker. Got Dirt Bowl on one side and all about Algonquin Park on the other side, okay? And then they told me, well, you've got to go through a process. You've got to call the Kentucky Historical Society. And they said, well, you got to do this. So many spaces, so many characters. Count it up this way. You got to show proof that it happened. Proof. I said, okay. So I gave them everything that they needed so that we could have this marker because I thought this marker was really important to have. We have to have certain things in our community to remind us that historical things happened. During 1969, this was a demilitarized zone. Black, white, everybody that played ball played here with no problems. None. I don't think we ever even had the police come to the park. Okay, so what I want to say also is I want to make a tribute to my friend and my brother, Big Ben, because he at least got to see 50 years celebrated of the Dirt Bowl before his passing. And he was very proud of that. You know, we got to have a dinner and give out awards and show appreciation to everybody that had supported the Dirt Bowl. We made it an event, an affair, and he was proud of that. And I am glad that I had something to do with that, and he was always there with me. We were just good buddies, and like I tell everybody, I pay tribute to Ben, but see, I introduced Ben and Natalie. That's, I give myself props for that, because they just seem like they kind of fit together, because Natalie was fashion plate at Shawnee High School, and Big Ben was smooth dude, quiet spoken on the court. So to Natalie, and where's Bryce? Okay, you sitting down there. I was going to say, you should be standing up so I could see you where you were. To your family, that he was a fabulous man. He was my friend and my brother. And you'll always have this to tell all your friends and family and his grandchildren all about who their granddaddy was. You know, so, and I can tell my family who my partner was. And on that note, I'm going to make sure I didn't leave anything out. I just want to say thank you all for coming. I'm glad God blessed me to follow through. This was the last piece of the 50th celebration. So we're all done now. Chief Shields, I thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here. I'm trying to get it back to me.
Okay.
Break out the cameras out.
All right.
Well, you've got to